Hello, fellow enjoyers of the AFL. It's Matt here with a Supercoach video, and this week I'm feeling a little bit better. You wouldn't think it from the thumbnail, considering I had a couple really bad scores, as I'll show you shortly. But this week I got into the top 2%. For the average round score, so that was really good. Bumped up 8,300 ranks, which is crazy. Back into the top 5%, which is pretty solid. We'll take that. And I'll get straight into it and show you what happened. So this week, Lukey Ryan D1 did the business on Richmond. He almost double tunned. It was meant to be, but didn't happen. But then we look a bit further down. Actually, no, we'll stay in the defense a little bit. McKercher got 135. A lot of people would have traded him out, and they'll be looking to bring him back in. But thankfully, I held on to him. And if you guys may remember in the previous videos, there wasn't much hope there for me. I just thought, man, hopefully he can come good and play defense. He did, and he's looking good as a selection now. Robert's no good. Sheasel no good. It's all good, whatever. But yeah, I managed to captain Sarong this week because I still had Sexton. I could use him to loop in case of my VC gone. A lot of people went Walsh into Gorn or someone else into Gorn. So I managed to get a decent captain score. But onto the negatives. Tom Green, 5, who I traded in last week, which is super painful. And Fifey was the sub, and I couldn't do anything about it. It is what it is. Thankfully, there was enough good things in this team to balance out the fact that I had Green and Fife. Flanders had a good score there. Wilson, still have Wilson. He had a great score. See, even the midfield, I'm looking at it now, the Walsh and Miller, they both got 90s. So although it's fine, it's not ideal. This week could have been so much better. This could have been a 2,400 week. And also another little thing I'll mention is Rowan Marshall is still in the team. Sweet could be injured this week. He has the flu apparently, so that was that worked out very well. That I kept Marshall, and he beat Sweet's score by 30. There's another little advantage there. But anyway, happy again with Supercoach. And I'll go into my trades, sort of show you what I'm thinking. And not much will change my mind about this. But we'll go into it. So anyway, we're trading out Matt Roberts here. I don't think he's a must trade out, but I think, look, he's done his job. He was 156K, something like that at the start of the season, and he's gotten up to 416. So we'll take that. Don't think he's a bad hold, but look, the guy who I want to bring in, like, there's clear scoring pedigree with this guy. And that is, select the mid. Where is he? Oh, here we go. Ooh, Clary. So Clary's going to come in. And so I only need to generate 49K. And the way I'm going to do that is Biggie Nyun is going to go to probably the most traded in downgrade option this week, and that's Darcy Jones. And I've got 1K on the dot to play with next week, which isn't going to get us much. But, it's good. Now we've got a nice structured forward line there. We've got, a loop and a good playing rookie on the bench. And we got Clary as M8, completes this, imperfect midfield, but, it's not too bad. But I'll go through quickly if I can't do these trades, what I would do. So if, for example, Closey or Graham get dropped, I won't be able to get Oliver this week, most likely, because there's no downgrade option in defense. So we'll have to go, let's say it's Closey, for example. Would have to go probably Wilson to the midfield and then get Darcy Jones that way. And then I'd have to pick up a 590K defender. Who that might be? We'll go by average. Martin is available, and they do have a good run. So it might be Martin, to be honest with you. And, it's going to feel weird having traded him out earlier in the year, but a good player is a good player. He's very likely going to be a top 6 defender. The other option is Hayden Young, who I don't think there's a rush to get him, especially versus Sydney this week, but I think he's, if not top 6, top 7, 8. Jack Sinclair's another option. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I hope that that's not the case. I don't want to do that trade because I want to get young Clary Oliver while he's as cheap as he is. There we go. And forward to trade out Biggie. There we go. Perfect. All right. Let's complete those trades and we'll set it up a little bit. So we're going to swap Wilson and Jones because Wilson plays before Jones. Yeah, he plays before Jones. That's satisfying there. And we'll chuck the emergency on Clark. He looked really good against Melbourne. He didn't do a lot in the first half, from memory, but yeah, I think he managed like 40 or 50 in the second half, so that was pretty good. But yeah, that'll be the team going into next week. VC and C, not 100% sure. Gawn has Pitnet this week, so I'll do a little bit of research on how he's gone against Pitnet. Is it a short turnaround? It might be a short turnaround as well, which is not ideal. But I'm leaning towards Butters against Geelong. So Oliver got 141 against Geelong. Butters is due for a big one. He's had a lot of good scores, a lot of solid scores, but he hasn't put together 4 quarters in the last few rounds. If we look at his season stats, like he's been solid, but yeah, 124, 82, 127, 130. I need a bit of that. Richmond 175. That'd be lovely. But yeah, that's very likely what's going to happen. And I'm going to quickly go to Draftland, talk about draft. Draftland is looking pretty good this week. So I managed to get, if we can go to the previous round, we're around 8. And it doesn't want to load. Here we are. So against Sammy Sprinkler, my boy Jimmy Drossos. So big scores everywhere. Saligo, McKercher, Sinclair, Wardlaw, Oliver, Luke Ryan, Tim English, Flanders. It was crazy. It was a great week. And I went early on Hayes, so I have him on the bench just chilling. He's probably going to be a starter this week for me against Hawthorn. Even Newcomb on the bench to 95. So just options galore here, which is really nice. Fortunately, Cam Guthrie and Banfield, they sabotaged my 2000, but that's fine. Yeah, so right after the North game, which I went to, I noticed that these guys had such huge scores. I traded out Duncan, who got us 33, and brought in O'Connor or something, just someone who didn't play. And I traded out Ainsworth as well, who was on my bench, who got concussed, for like Salem, so I could accept 135 and 123. I would never be that aggressive in Classic, but in Draft, we need wins. We need wins because having a look at the league, I'm 5th. I'm 5th. Come on, here we go. Yeah, I'm 5th. And Dino just needed to beat Cheeky Perry over here, but he didn't, which is disappointing. And that would have gotten me into the top 4. But that's fine. That's fine. I'll work my way up. I do have Perry the Dutchman this week, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. A little short and sharp one. Actually, before I finish it off, I picked up Finlayson. I had him as priority 1 because he's got good scoring history. He might be all right. Dino also had him as priority 1, so I snuck him in. I didn't expect anyone would do that, but yeah, Dino did have him as priority 1. I got him, and I brought in Atkins as a loophole option for the defense this week. But anyway, all right, all good. Thank you guys for watching. All the best for your trades this week. I hope you do well, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
West Coast put it into the hot spot, into the 50. And Harley Reid! Oh my! Soaring from the heavens! If you're wondering if the hype was real, here's your proof!